everyone, so it's a brand new month, and you know that means it's a brand new topic. And this month we will be focusing on conflict resolution, and I actually spicing things up, got a great guest, and I'll let her introduce herself. Who are you?
Hi y'all, my name is Rachel Manser. I'm also a partner of Lindsay's. We're working through our personal growth tribe, so always developing ourselves. So in our tribe of leaders and mentors, as she said, we're focusing on conflict resolution. So just here to have a little chat about it today.
Yeah. All right, so conflict resolution. First of all, let's keep it real like we always do. What are some ways that we usually try to deal with conflicts? Can you think of any?
Yeah, absolutely. I know me personally, I am a big conflict avoider. I avoid conflict at all costs. It hurts my feelings, feel like other feelings get hurt. It's just very uncomfortable for me. So if I know that there's tension, I try not to bring it up. I think I've found that more actually in the workplace of like, not necessarily between colleagues, but when it comes to like annual reviews and tension with like performance and how you're going to be evaluated. And not necessarily that I'm not doing a good job, but I just don't want to hear it if it's like really harsh feedback, you know?
Right.
So there's a difference between constructive criticism, of course, but that conflict there, it's hard to take.
Yeah, that's definitely a negative way. And I know a negative way I also try to deal with conflict is competing. I am very competitive, y'all. Like, everything doesn't have to be a competition, though. It doesn't have to be win-lose. There's win-win. And I know, have you read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Yeah, he covers that in the book, how you can create win-win situations. But some more positive ways that people try to lean towards, one I can think of is actually collaborating, which is great, but sometimes people might over negotiate. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a give and take to it, but I think everyone is always going to want to stick up for number one, so I think it's kind of difficult there, but I think that leads us to compromising more so than collaboration.
Right.
And I was actually listening to a podcast by Rachel Hollis, and they were talking about having that feedback, even just in their personal relationship, and making it more of like a weekly check-in, a quarterly review, and then like annual retreats where they like just take a vacation, get away from everything, but that idea that they're purposefully bringing up those check-ins and conflict, or just like the getting into that, acknowledging what needs to be talked about, and not letting it sit all year round and then people boil over. So kind of like addressing that conflict if there is any.
So yes, I totally agree. Compromising is a great way to get that utopia feeling where everybody has a win-win situation, right?
Absolutely.
But you know, some people might use accommodating thinking they're compromising, but there's a totally, once again, somebody's losing, and we don't want that when it comes to working on a team. And what's a way that you could say people could build themselves so they know how to compromise, have a healthy discussion?
Absolutely. I think a lot of it comes down to self-awareness, really building your EQ or your emotional intelligence quotient, just becoming more self-aware of not only how you handle stress and the conflict piece of things, but then whoever you're chatting with. So maybe acknowledging different personality types or their tendencies, demeanors, that all kind of flows into how folks address conflict, and then how you can have that conversation or not, you know, how you approach that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's something that the organization that we're with, we focus a lot on changing yourself so you can change your world, so you can change the world. And a big part of that is making sure you're self-aware. We all go through conflict. It's uncomfortable, like we're talking about. I am like the master of avoiding. But how can I do that if I'm trying to lead my family, if I'm trying to lead a team, a group at work? If I'm sitting here trying to avoid all the conflict, how will we ever find compromise? You know?
Absolutely. Yep. I think it's only a good thing to gain that self-awareness and acknowledge that. Being intentional of, if you are an avoider like you and I, taking those steps to no longer do that, or at the very least kind of dip your toe in and try to like have that conversation from the start and only grow yourself from there. So.
Right. And of course, it's not an overnight practice. If you guys are interested in growing in this area as well, connect with me or connect with Rachel. What's your plugs? How can we find you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram is my main platform. So at Personal Growth Tribe.
Exactly. And if you're subscribed to my email, you already know how to connect with me. I'll have the link below. If you're a YouTube subscriber, thank you. Also, check out the link below to find out how you can connect with me, because this is an area we all are trying to grow in. Like, who's the master at conflict resolution? Be real. So anyway, if you're trying to keep it real with us, check us out. And as usual, thank you for watching.